So, welcome. Actually, let's have a seat. Oh, yeah. Let's have a seat. Arms reach overhead. Oh, I better set my timer too. Uh, okay, I'm going to set my timer. I'm so organized this morning, isn't it great? Okay, now I'm ready. This will be a good class. It'll be worth getting up for, right? Right. Ah. Welcome to this Pilates Yoga Fusion class. We'll flow and move and get out all those aches and pains from sleeping. So this morning, we'll start on our backs. Legs could be long or knees could be bent, whatever feels good for you. As you stretch the arms out, splay the legs. Take a deep inhale and exhale. So a few rounds of breath to settle into your practice. Next time you inhale, splay the fingers and toes. Exhale, squeeze the hands into fist, ball the toes, as long as the feet don't cramp. And then inhale, splay. And exhale, squeeze. Continue here to unite breath and movement. Round two more, depending on your pace. Last one, splay. And then roll the wrists and ankles, warming the joints. And change directions. Nice. And then again, splay those fingers. A little more yoga here. Tap the thumb to the index finger, thumb to middle, thumb to ring, thumb to pinky, thumb to index, middle, ring, pinky, index, middle, ring, pinky. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Birth, life, death, rebirth. Birth, life, death, rebirth. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Three more. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Last one. Sa, ta, na, ma. Inhale. And exhale, draw those hands to heart center. Thank you for joining me in this practice. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in you. Namaste. Reach those arms overhead. Long body stretch here. Then circle those arms as you slide the feet in, parallel like railroad tracks. Palms can turn down, press the hands into the earth and arms into the earth. Start to peel just low spine, and settle it back down. Peel low spine and settle. Exhale to peel. Inhale, soften. Let's do round 3. 2, press evenly through both feet. Last one, lift and then continue to curl up a little higher. Low ribs are still down. Okay, so just come up so that you're landing on low ribs and then descend again. Inhale the bottom. Exhale, peel just to low ribs. Oh, that feels nice. And lower back down. A few more like this. 3, 2. Press into those arms. The last one this way. Lower back down, and this time just a little higher. Those low ribs still stay heavy, but there's this little bit of lift, not as high as in a yoga bridge. We still have the shoulder blades on the mat when we lift to the top. Let's do round 3. 2. And a final time. Stay at the top in your bridge. Arms extend from the shoulder, palms can face one another. Take the right arm overhead, left arm reaches toward the toes, and then split or splice the arms the other way. Left arm overhead, right arm to your side. And just continue to switch as you find strength through the backs of the legs and the hover. Warming the shoulders. And then lower the hips, arms extend directly from the shoulder. And the left arm can reach overhead again, right arm reaches toward the toes, a little bit of coordination here. Sweep the left arm and right arm out to the side. They will switch. So the right arm comes overhead, left arm to your side, and then reach for the sky. So you continue this splice, left arm overhead, right arm reaches toward the toes, arms circle close to the earth. And then again, continue here. Hopefully that was enough explanation. It's a little tricky one. This is a windmill. We haven't done this in a long time. One more like this. One more reach with the left arm overhead, right arm to your side. Then with the right arm overhead, let's bring it back in line with the shoulder. Left arm also reaches directly up from the shoulder. We'll restart here. Heavy the shoulders into the earth, and then right arm reaches overhead. Left arm reaches toward toes. Low to the ground, circle the arms round. The left arm will be overhead. The right arm reaches toward toes. And then we continue here to splice the air. Right arm reaches overhead, left arm toward toes, circle. Heavy through the ribs. One more like this. Nice. And both arms can just reach overhead. Long body stretch here. And then circle those arms around and come into upper ab curl, maybe with the legs long. Okay. Arms reach overhead. Lay back down. Circle those arms to your sides. Curl up just the upper spine. And then lower back down. Arms reach overhead. Circle those arms out to the side. Curl. And inhale, reach arms overhead. Slide the heels in. Again, circle those arms. Curl. And then rest back down, reach overhead, circle the arms, curl. Then this time clasp the backs of the thighs, so you can curl a little higher, a little higher. Maybe you start to lengthen out those legs, so you can start to roll up through the spine and fold forward. Nice. And then roll up through the spine, so you're in a seated position. You're so small, I'm trying to see you. And fold. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, fold. One more time, sit up nice and tall. Here, widen the legs to mat distance apart. Arms reach out in front as if pressing down on a table. Heavy through the legs, inhale. And exhale, round through low spine. Inhale, stack the spine. Exhale, reach forward, head is heavy. Inhale, stack. Exhale, curl. A few more of these. I'm going to see if I can adjust my camera so that you're bigger. My camera view. See multi-speaker gallery. That's better. That's better. Okay, now we'll continue. So sit up nice and tall. Plant those feet. Hands come behind the body. I know this is a bit tricky. Lift up, and then walk, walk, walk forward to the front of your mat. Lengthen those legs, and legs are parallel here. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold, and rock the weight forward and back so that it lands mostly in the balls of the feet here. You might need to bend your knees. It's early in the practice. Inhale. And exhale, start to roll up through the spine. So our roll down here, but we're rolling up, starting from the bottom. Slowly articulate through the spine. And arms will sweep up and hands to heart center. Nice. Short stance for warrior one. Left foot steps back. Lengthen the lead leg as the arms reach up. Return the hands to heart center as the front knee bends. So we'll keep the palms together here. Lengthen the right leg, arms reach. And exhale, re-bend the right knee as the hands come to heart. So a few repeats here. Let's do two more. Reach and bend. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale as you lengthen the right leg. Then use your center and angle the body forward. So the body comes forward with the legs staying where they are. A lot of core work here. And then lift right back up. Inhale, the body hinges forward from the waist. Exhale to lift up. One more time. Inhale. Yeah, nice. Exhale to rise. Very good. Hands back to heart center as you bend that right knee and set the back left shin down. You could use the hands if you need to here. So we found our low lunge. Little rock here as the hands come to the pelvis. Oop, there we go. Little rock. Nice. And then that right leg will come back behind you as you plant the hands. Can extend that right leg long and set to the ball of the foot on the earth. See if you can find your tabletop position here. Press through those hands. And then lift that right leg up to hip height. And then curl through the spine as you draw the knee through center. And then lengthen the leg out as spine comes to neutral. And then again, curl that knee in and lengthen out. Exhale to curl. Inhale to lengthen. Let's do two more this way. Last one, curl. And lengthen that leg back out. Plant the ball of the foot. The left arm now reaches forward in line with the ear if able, and tap the hand down. Reach and lift and tap. Let's do three. 2. Last one this way. And here we can add on leg and arm. Leg and arm. They lift and lower. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Last one. Lift. Keep the leg lifted, but plant the hand underneath the shoulder. Bend that right knee. And then knees return side by each, so side by side. Then kick the sole of the foot to the sky with the knee bent. Yeah. So here, donkey kicks to the ceiling with the sole of foot. As we try to press evenly through the hands, engage through center, exhale to press, inhale, return. So 4 more of these. 4, 3, 2. Last one. And see if you can pulse, pulse, pulse. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, woo, 2, 1. Nice. Lengthen out that leg. Rebend. Lengthen. Bend. 3, 2. Kick your own bum. The last one. Nice. That knee, that right knee, draw it through between the hands. You might need to step it through so it can plant in the low lunge. Again, roll up through the spine. Arms can circle. Hands to heart center. From this position, strong and stable through the legs, press through your foundations. Inhale, rotate one way, very small with the torso, very, very small. Exhale, center. Inhale, rotate opposite way. Exhale, center. Continue this little rotation. Yeah, with the knees staying forward. So that means this rotation could be small. This is upper spine. Yeah, there you go. Now watching that knee stays nice and forward. Trying to see if it's forward. Okay. One more each way. Final time. Nice. Now with or without hands. Hands could always come down, okay? Or tuck back toes as you lean forward. Lift that knee off the earth. And we're in a long lunge, really fatiguing this lead leg. Hands could stay at heart center or be on the hips, wherever you'd like them, as you lengthen that right leg and bend. Lengthen and bend. So our lunge extension from Pilates. Let's do 3. You could always stay still if the knee isn't tracking. 2. Trying to find stability. Last one. Nice. Rebend. Blade that back foot. Open up the torso toward the left side of the room for your warrior 2. Yeah. So you're opening to the side. Yeah. So you're open, hopefully, I think, to the left side if your right leg is leading. Yeah. And here, that right leg, that lead leg, can lengthen as the arms reach up. And return into your warrior 2. Again, inhale, reach. And exhale, return. Really staying in this leg, fatiguing the legs. Let's do 3, 2. The last one, reach back on a diagonal. And then return the torso in line with the hips. Arms can extend from the shoulder. Send the hips back in space. And then reach forward with the right arm. And then right arm revolves down, left arm up for triangle as we squeeze those legs toward one another. Rebend that right knee. Sweep that right arm up for exalted warrior or reverse warrior. And we continue with the flow here. So find your triangle once more, lengthen the lead leg. Find reverse warrior. And find your triangle. One more time, reverse warrior. And then triangle, so lengthen lead leg. And then we'll change this up. Bend that right knee, bring that right forearm to that thigh for side angle. Other arm might go over the ear if you'd like. And then pivot on those back toes, on the left toes, so that they face that short edge of your mat. That left hand can come down, rotate toward the right lead leg. Nice. And then both hands can frame the front foot as we step back into our first plank. Maybe lower the knees and slowly, slowly descend to the earth. Yeah, slowly. Press onto the forearms for Sphinx. Let's play a bit with the neck here. Drop the gaze, drop the chin. And look up to any degree that feels good for the neck. And drop the chin. And look up. And as you continue to do this, heavy the legs, but lift up through the belly button. So we have that strength we want for our low back. And then head comes to neutral. Let the shoulders shrug toward the ears. The shoulders come toward ears, and then we press out of the floor. Okay. Let the shoulders shrug and press. Let's do 3, 2, and last one. Keep that press. Interlace the fingers here. This is that sneaky core. The knees can stay on the earth. Okay. Pelvis lifts. Exhale. Inhale to lower the pelvis to hover. The knees and shins can be on the earth. Exhale, just the pelvis lifts as we curl. And inhale, hover. Continue this curl and hover. The exhale is so powerful. 3, 2. Last one, lift. And now if you'd like, you don't have to, but you could tuck your toes and lift the knees into a forearm plank. Maybe a little rock forward and back on the feet. So you come onto toes and then you press back. Nice. And from here, lower the knees, come onto one hand and then the other, press back almost into child's pose, and then come forward with the body. Yeah, and just kind of rock. One more time, rock back. And then toes are tucked. Lift those knees, hips high, downward facing dog. We'll walk to the front of the mat, preparing for the other side soon. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Weight more in the balls of the feet as you start to roll up more Pilates style through the spine, nice and slow. And the head will stack last. Arms can sweep overhead and draw to heart center. Hands at heart center here as we step the right foot back, short stance, warrior 1. Now we're on the other side. Yeah. And keep those hands pressing together as you lengthen that left leg and the arms can reach. Rebend the left leg as hands come to heart. Just a few like this as you find your footing. Making sure you feel, yeah, looks like you're nice and stable there on train tracks, not a balance beam. Finding the tracking of that lead knee over second and third toe. One more time, lengthen. Everything squeezes together as you hinge at the waist and lean forward if able. This feels okay in low back. And then use the exhale to rise. This is a lot for center. So hinge. It could be a smaller hinge too. We don't want to be in low back. Exhale, use the center. The exhale will power you up. One more. Lift. Nice. Hands to heart as you rebend that left knee. Again, hands can also come to support you. Or see if you can set the back right shin down on the earth without hands. Nice. Okay. Find your foundations here. Press and press. Okay. And inhale, rotate one way. And exhale, center. Inhale, other way. Exhale, center. Just a few more. The final time each way, or even out each way. Return to center in that little rock, forward and back. One more little rock. And then hands can come down if you'd like in order to slide that left leg back behind us nice and long. Plant the ball of foot. Adjust so that wrists are underneath shoulders. Press the earth away. And then lift that left leg back up. Inhale. And exhale. Bend the knee. Round through the spine. Draw it in toward your center. And then extend. Neutral spine. And round. Draw knee in. Reach leg long, neutral spine. And then draw knee in. So a few more like this. And the head just follows the rest of the spine. One more time. Nice. Reach that left leg long. Plant the ball of the foot back down. Right arm lifts. And tap the fingers. Reach and resist it down. 3, 2, depending on your pace. Last one. Tap. And now that left leg and right arm. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. And see if you can stay solid through the legs. That right hip's going to want to jet out to the side. It's like you're hugging a ball into midline. 3, 2, last one. Lift. Keep the leg lifted, but plant the right hand. Okay. Bend that left knee. And then kick to the sky. And then draw the knees side by each. Kick the sole of foot to sky. And legs come side by each. Woo! And then, like me, try not to lean. You got this. 4, 3, 2. I think you know what's coming. Last one. And then pulse. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lengthen the leg, but keep it in the air. And then bend, lengthen, bend, lengthen, bend. 2 more. 2. Last one. Nice. That leg, draw it through. So left leg through, lunges through, step the foot onto the earth in front of you. And again, rise. Arms can circle. And hands to heart center. Tuck those back toes. Find that lean or hands to the earth. Lift that back knee off. Lengthen back leg in this variation. Hands at heart or on the hips as we reach right leg or left leg long and return to the bend. So lunge extension here. Find a point that's not moving. Yeah, and there's no hinge here in the waist. It's just the leg moves us forward and back. One more like this. Rebend that left leg and then blade that back foot so it faces long edge of the mat as you open up to the right side wall for warrior 2. Arms outstretched from shoulders. Torso turned open. Gaze over front fingertips. And then flip the palms. That left leg will reach as the arms lengthen to sky. And then rebend. Finding a little flow here. Reach, inhale. And exhale to rebend. And check out the tracking of that knee. In line with second and third toe, the front leg. Two more. The last one, arms reach up as that left leg lengthens. So arms kind of on a diagonal to the corner of the ceiling. And then shoulders in alignment with the hips, arms outstretched, and lengthen or send the hips back in space. Rather, reach forward with the left fingertips rather, and left arm down, right arm up, triangle. There we go. Rebend that left knee, sweep that left arm up for exalted warrior. And then return to your triangle. Lengthen the lead leg. And then return to the bent knee as left arm sweeps up. And whenever you're in triangle, see if it can feel like you're between two panes of glass, shoulders stacked on one another as best you can. Last time here in the triangle. And we'll turn this into a side angle. Bend that left knee. The forearm can come to the thigh, but still there's a sense of lift and reach as that top arm comes over the ear. Now, pivot or turn on those back right toes to face the short edge of your mat. You'll end up in a lunge with that right arm forward. Then plant the right hand, rotate left. Nice. And hands frame the front foot as you step, 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 or step back into a plank, knees up or knees down. Let's lower all the way to the earth, all the way. Nice. Find the Sphinx, press into your forearms. Inhale. Maybe stick up the tongue there as you lower all the way back down. Hands can be underneath the forehead here. Lift that right leg just to lengthen it out. Stretch, 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 and set it back down. That left leg, lift it, stretch, 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 and settle it back down. So you've almost made yourself taller here. And again, press or tuck the pelvis slightly into the earth, lighten through the belly button. And let's alternate legs. So right leg lifts, so lengthens and lifts, and set it down. Left leg lengthens and lifts, set it down. And continue to alternate here. You want this leg straight, or as straight as legs get. And as you do this, notice if the weight shifts across the pelvis or if it's nice and level. We'd like it nice and even. Let's do 2 more each side. 1 more each side. Nice. And then you might lift both legs and lower to hover. Lift both legs. This is very small. And lower to hover. Only do this if it feels okay in low back. Otherwise, continue to alternate legs. So help us with swimming in Pilates and locust in yoga. Let's do 2 more. That length, length, length. Last one. Very, very good. Set those legs right back down. Hands by your sides, press up into a almost push-up position, and then tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Roll forward with the body into a plank. Hover the knees, and then scooch back, not scooch, crouch back, and then send the hips nice and high. And roll forward back into the plank. Bend the knees to hover, crouch back, press evenly through both hands. Press the hips high, down dog, roll forward again. Knees hover, yeah, crouch, and hips high, downward facing dog. Let's walk the feet forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend those knees, sink into chair, hands come into prayer. Press evenly through the feet to rise to stand. Arms can circle overhead. Wrap the hands behind the body, maybe to the pelvis. Open across the heart. And then return the heart to neutral, or the spine to neutral, rather. Lift through the heart. Inhale, like up and over a beach ball. Exhale, returns. This is little baby back bend. Continue here. 3, 2. Last one. Lift through heart. Bend those knees and fold right back down. Hands to shins halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Plant those hands. Step back into a plank. Knees elevated or down on the mat. Shift your weight forward a little here. Engage through the front line as you lower, 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 all the way back down onto the mat. Find your sphinx. Press into forearms. And then as you lower, lengthen out the arms outstretched in front of you. Lift and reach the right arm a little bit longer. Okay, and then the left one a little bit longer. And do the same with the legs, just scooch, scooch, scooch. So you're super, super long. From this lengthened position, heavy through the base of the pelvis. And lighten through the belly button as you lift that right arm up. And lower to hover, or set it down, either way. Left arm reaches, and set it down or hover. You can decide here, alternate arms. Getting as much height as you can helps us with swimming, helps us get out of the low back into upper back posture. One more each side. Final time. Nice. Slide those arms into cactus, that 90-degree bend that we're familiar with. And lift through the spine, upper spine, and lower to hover. Lift through upper spine and lower to hover. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Nice. We'll put some of that together later. Press the hands into the earth, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Walk or step or hop to the front of your mat. Hands to shins halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Sink back into chair, pelvis back. Press evenly through feet and rise. Arms sweep to your sides, in behind the body. Again, open across the heart. And then hands to prayer. Step back with that left foot, short stance, warrior 1. This time, arms come overhead. Circle them round as you lengthen the lead leg. Those hands will interlace behind the body, open heart. And then fold forward. Forward folding triangle with a heart opener. Halfway lift here. So halfway lift with the spine. And then fold. Halfway lift with the spine. So you're kind of hinging here. And fold. Halfway lift with the spine, and either with straight leg or bent leg, rise. Arm sweeps over the sides of the ears as you rebend that right knee if not already there. Nice. Hands to heart center as you step into tree. Left sole of foot to that right leg, just not on the knee. Arm sweep again. And circle them in round behind the body. Interlace fingers perhaps, or reach back. Nice. Hands again, return to center. Knee faces forward, and then drive that left foot back Angle the body forward so you're in a warrior 3. If you need to set the hands down, you could do that too. Ooh. Or keep them at heart center, or even sweep them in behind the body, interlace, open heart. Nice. Hands to the earth. As you point those left toes, send the leg a little higher if you're able. It may not go any higher for needle. Nose toward the knee. And then bend the left knee, draw it through, and set the foot down. So feet side by each in our forward fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back into your variation of the plank. Roll forward with the body and lower, lower all the way to the earth. Arms outstretched here. Again, tuck pelvis a little. Lift that right arm and left leg as the torso also lifts, so upper spine can lift, and then lower. That left arm can lift, right leg, and lower. And here we've added the back extension, or it's a choice to add the back extension. Trying to find the lift through the arm. Great. Again, let's do one more each side. One more each side. If your pace is a little different, it's okay to have done some extra. That's all right too. Just even yourself out. Nice. And then hands will slide in. Press yourself back into a downward facing dog. Walk or step forward to the front of your mat. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. And fold. Knees bend. Sink the hips back. Hands to prayer chair. Press yourself tall. Arms again sweep back behind the body. Open heart. And find center with those hands and step back with that right foot. Short stance, warrior 1. Lengthen that lead leg as the arms reach overhead. And then sweep the arms back, maybe interlock fingers, open heart. And then with a either long front leg or bent, whichever you can master today, lean forward and then press up through the feet. Lean forward with strength through center. Inhale. Exhale, press up. Another time, lean forward. Stay leaned forward. Maybe the arms reach a little higher. And either with bent front knee or not, rise. Then rebend that knee if you haven't yet, as the arms sweep overhead for regular warrior 1. And hands to heart center as we step forward into tree. So that right sole of foot to that left leg. Hug everything through center. Arm sweep. And hands can weave behind the back or reach behind you. Hands again from overhead to heart center. Kneecap of the right leg faces forward. Send that leg long behind you as you kind of hinge or lean forward rather. Parallel. Body becomes parallel to earth in our warrior 3, or hands are down. And then those arms could come in behind the body. Weave the fingers together. Woohoo! Try not to jet the chin forward like I was. And then hands plant, or fingers might plant. Point those right toes, lift the right leg a little higher as your nose heads toward the knee. Doesn't mean it's going to get there. And then rebend that right knee in the air. Draw it through to plant the feet side by side. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Let's roll up this time through the spine. Exhale, inhale, stand up tall. And exhale to fold right back down. This time, step back into that plank. Roll forward with the body, can be on the knees here as we lower, lower, lower all the way to the earth. Arms sweep out in front of us, nice and long. Lift arms and legs. Circle the arms in behind the body. So locust here, so they just reach. Could also take a bind and interlace them as well. Or thumbs could turn up. So open through the chest, but the hands are not interlaced. Explore that a little. And good. Lower down. And then press into those hands, hips to heels, child's pose. Roll up through the spine to sit on your shins. Perhaps you stay here in hero. Or you might take hands behind the body and lift the hips. We start to kind of stretch a little bit here. So you can lift and lower the hips. One more time, lift. Maybe you pause. And lower the hips right back down. Slide forward onto the belly again. Let's do a little more work for center. Interlace those hands again as you press onto the forearms. Let's go to the sneaky core one more round. I realize I want to add a little something. So lift the hips and lower the hips to hover. Exhale, curl. Inhale, hover. One more time. Curl. Hover. Nice. Curl. And this time, roll toward your left. So that right forearm will be in line with the short edge of your mat as you roll so that your right side is down, left side is up. You can have a bent right knee here and a long left leg as the arm reaches overhead, that top arm, and returns to your side. Top arm reaches and returns to your side. So we're in a moderated side plank here. One more reach. And then extend that arm directly from the shoulder. Little dip of the hip and lift. Dip and lift. So our side lift from Pilates. Continue here. I know how you love this one. You could have also both knees bent as well. Lots of variations of this one. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, stay at the top. Pause, take a breath in. And then let the hips come down as you sweep that top arm in front of you. Roll onto your belly again. And prop yourself onto the forearms. This time, the hands can be separated. Fists with the hands, lift the chest through the heart. That right leg, lengthen it out and just try to lift it off the earth a little and return. That left leg, try to lift it off a little and return. Let's do a few of these. One more. Nice. Now see if you can lift that right leg and then pulse toward your bottom. and then lengthen it back out. The left leg lifts, pulse, pulse, and lengthen it back out. So alternating pulses, but there's this sense of lightness through the thigh of the leg as we pulse it. You catch any rocking with the abs. Do one more each side. Last time. Nice. And then lift up into a forearm plank. Okay. That left forearm will be parallel to the short edge of your mat, the front edge of your mat, as you roll so that left side is down, right side is up, and bend that bottom knee, if you'd like here, to find a side plank. And then hover the hips and lift. So little hover, little lift. You can rearrange here so the legs are stacked. Whatever works for you. We have 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, pause with the hips lifted. And we need to add that arm. So top arm reaches over the ear and then to your side. Top arm reaches to ear and to the side. Let's do 2 more arm sweeps. Strong, powerful arm. Last time reach, pause a little longer. Nice. And then roll onto your plank, in forearm plank rather. And then lower the pelvis down. Press those fists and those arms into the earth as you lift the chest through the collarbones. And we'll try another round of this time, start with the left leg lengthens and lifts. Set it down. Right leg lengthens and lifts. Set it down. It's such a small movement. One more. And the next time you lift that left leg, see if you can pulse, pulse, and extend. It can even hover. Pulse, pulse, extend. Pulse, pulse, extend. With an exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale. One more each side. Last one. Nice. Lower down, slide those arms in front of you. Then with the legs hovering, reach the arms back, lift into locust so the chest is lifted. And good. Lower right back down. There. Now we'll take more rest. We'll continue to stretch the front line while we're in this position. That right knee bends. Reach back with the same hand, clasp the ankle, and press the pelvis down into the earth. If you like bow, you could take your half bow here and lift through the spine. And lower right back down. Let's switch sides. That left hand will clasp that same left ankle. Press pelvis down. And then lift into a half bow if you'd like. Pressing hand into shin, shin into hand, and release. Perhaps the Sphinx again, or maybe you come onto hands, stretch through the abs. And lower right back down to slide those hands closer to the body so that you can press hips to heels. Child's pose. And you walk those fingertips further from the body, long, long reach. Slide those hands over to the right. So diagonal child's pose. Maybe that left hand stacks over the right one. Only an option. Let's stretch into the ribs. As you breathe in next, take that left arm, maybe sweep it open. The torso will lift just a little. And then sit up nice and tall. That right arm can reach up and in behind the body. And then slide forward into child's again. Sweep the hands to the left side of the mat this time. The right hand can stack on the left one if it serves. Next time you inhale, that right arm can open. You're open kind of on a diagonal here. Sit up tall. The left arm can reach to sky. And then behind the body, just open chest, maybe even interlace hands. Mm-hmm. And find center. Take those legs out in front of you. So just sweep them in front. Mm-hmm. Find your sits bones, tall spine, angle the body forward. See what that's like first before you decide if you want to round or keep a long spine today, whatever's going to give you the best stretch. Knees are bent as much as they need. Another inhale. And exhale to roll up through the spine. Plant those feet. And since it's later in the class, maybe assist yourself here because we've already stretched the front line. Assist yourself down, roll down with the hands, hug those knees in. And then plant that left foot. Right leg reaches to the sky, flex through the ankle, cross it. And I think you know your figure four here. Draw that left thigh in if you'd like. Hands or no hands. Could stay in stillness or rock until you find an angle that feels good for you. And then reach those legs long in a V shape. Yeah, so you get the inseams of the legs for a moment, hands outside as a support or inside to deepen. It can be a little bit of activation of the thighs as they squeeze in as well. The legs return to the sky. Plant that right foot, and the left ankle will cross with an active flexed ankle. Again, draw those legs in if you'd like, hands or no hands. As you perhaps rock. And then uncross that leg, plant the feet wide, arms reach out into a T, and let the legs sweep right and left. We pause on one side. And on the other. And then return to center, maybe a final knee hug before a mini savasana. So feet could be planted or legs could be long, whatever serves you here as we take just a few rounds of breath. Inhale, broaden. Exhale, release. Feel the body heavy as you inhale lightness. Anchored, yet free, refreshed, energized by the breath, by the prana. Hug those knees again to the chest when you're ready. Little subtle movements here, little rocks perhaps across back of pelvis, or sway the head. And then roll onto your favorite side. Breathe. And after an exhale or on an exhale, compress yourself up to seated. Mm-hmm. And lower the head side to side. And drop the chin through center. Arms reach up as you look up. And draw the hands all the way to your kind heart. Thank you for joining me for this Pilates Yoga Fusion. Have a great day. Sat Nam.